Right, I've got two cameras on. I've got a camera on a neck pendant, the Ace Pro 2, and you can probably see on the end of the selfie stick ahead of this bike, I've got the Insta360 X5. I'm here to test ride this bike, the Himalayan, Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. I've heard a lot about this bike, and it seems like I need to test ride it. And this is where I'm test riding it. A&D Motorcycles come highly recommended. They're in Denbigh in North Wales, and so far so good, very friendly indeed. So let's not hang around, let's start her up and get on the road. As you can see, beautiful dash. I hope a lot of the videos that this bike get, a lot of the video, what's just happened then? Trouble is, my helmet is clashing with this camera. I'm just going to have to check. Oh, I know what it was. Siri has decided to Siri me. That's what the noise was. I'm just still going to check that this camera is working. Yes. Okay, this shouldn't be a bother once I'm actually riding. As you can see, there's a little USB-C socket down there, which I've got my phone plugged into the sat-nav, and I'll just record a bit as I ride away, and see how we go. Oh, it's very smooth. Much more smooth than people have said it was smooth, but so I've programmed in a little circuit. I booked this for 1 till 2:30, but I arrived early. I arrived very early because I managed to leave the house at 10. Took an hour, so I was here at about 11. Nobody else had booked it, so I thought, so he just let me go, and he said come back at the original time at 2:30. So I'll switch off for the time being because I don't want to continuous loop. I'll switch off in a minute. But I do want to give a commentary of what I'm feeling like, and at the moment it's feeling really nice. You know, the mirrors are more or less where I want them to be. So there's a 20-mile-an-hour zone. Gee whiz, then what's stopping me? So yes, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I'm I've planned a circuit which takes an hour and a half, which goes through countryside. Oh, missed the direction. Oh, wait, no, I haven't. Which takes in, obviously, a bit of town, because you can't help that. Some B roads, A roads, then the dual carriageway, the A55, the North Wales Expressway, which is going to test it at basically motorway speeds, because when I first heard about this bike with a 450cc engine, and its predecessor, which had a 411cc engine, I was put off because I thought that's just no good. But actually, it's not a hindrance. All the reviews say it can cruise at motorway speeds, no problem at all. Gee, where's Maxi? Just hit the national speed limit, 60 miles an hour. Pulled back on the throttle, and it's no slouch. The only problem is, people have pointed out, I'm going to close my lid, people have pointed this out, the little tiny windscreen is not ideal, and I would definitely be changing that. It was particularly bad there. I had my visor open, and of course my visor was acting as a huge air scoop, and it's pulling my head back. So that was no good. But now I've closed the visor, it was fine. I'll tell you what, this is very nice. I really like it. So there's a bigger Royal Enfield screen, which I'll be very tempted to go straight for, so you can ride the bike away with a decent screen. But obviously I haven't got any luggage on it, and I will, when I travel, have luggage. But apparently the payload of this bike is like 190 kilos, which includes you, of course. But that gives me, and you can carry a pillion. I've seen people on YouTube carrying pillions, passengers. So I don't think it's a problem. Now, the other thing is, I don't want to be on motorways anyway. So my preference for travel will always be A and B roads. So I'm I can't see why this would be a problem. It's beautiful. I really like it. Right, I've put the camera back on again. That's really the whole point of this. I might just have to clip things out. Obviously, because I don't know what this road is going to serve up, and it might be great. I mean, it is great. It's a nice twisty turny road. So I might overdo it on the recording. Oh, but without any luggage on it, this thing is so nimble in comparison to my Tiger 800. I mean, which is still reasonably nimble, but this feels so lightweight in comparison. People have criticised it as saying, particularly because of the side stand, which I think they've now fixed. There's a new side stand come out, a longer one. There's a new side stand come out that longer, and I think they fitted the new side stand to this demonstrator because it didn't seem to be too far leant over. I tried one out in another shop, not riding, but just in the shop a while back, and it was lent so far over that it was quite difficult to get it up off the side stand. But I think they've solved that now. But aside from that, it just feels so nimble. Anyway, beautiful countryside, so the footage won't be terribly boring. Somebody enjoying their Porsche 911. It's on the country. They're being rather restrained. It is a 60 mile an hour thing, and I'm doing 40, 39. Perhaps they've got a ticket or loads of tickets recently. They're nursing a huge fine. What beautiful countryside, what a great road. Now the thing is, this gets high praise for its suspension, which is non-adjustable except for the rear shock has a preload adjustment with a spanner, and so that if you're loading the bike up with pillion passenger or luggage, or you can put some preload on there. The suspension is Showa suspension, which is a well-known Japanese suspension manufacturer, and everybody says they've got it right, both on road and off road. The suspension simply works. Simple suspension that just works out of the factory. That'll do me. And this bike is just so nice for A and B roads. And the fact that it will do the motorway is fine. Great, absolutely great. I'll just pull over here, trying not to, and I'll take a walk round. Right, here we go. As you can see, I've got a bit of luggage on there. Probably weighs about, I don't know, 7 kilos, something like that. So not huge. But I really bought it because I needed it. The bottom one's got, just in case, weatherproof gear, and the top one's got mounting brackets and things for cameras and so on, phones. So, but I particularly like it in this black and gold, and particularly with the gold wheels. I mean, I've seen pictures of the black wheels. Why would anybody want the black wheels in this circumstance? It's also got the peripheral spokes, so this takes tubeless tyres, and 21-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear wheel. The classic adventure bike or off-road spec bikes is 21-inch front wheel, 18-inch rear. But the design philosophy of this bike was all set so it could be accessible, so lower seat whilst having high ground clearance, and all of that led to a 17-inch wheel, so in order to allow enough room for the suspension to travel underneath the seat. But isn't it a gorgeous thing? Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. It's also one of the things, so some people don't like this, but It's got the brake light system is in the indicators. There's no central brake light. I kind of like it. I can't demonstrate because I'd have to be over near the bike, but very nice indeed. I'll just stop so that, again, not too long a clip. Oh, by the way, I stopped the video and I've got to start again because I just wanted to point out that I think this is the new longer side stand, because as you can see, it's not actually leaning over hellishly. I think it leant over more when I tested the one in the shop. The other good thing about this bike, which is rare on a budget bike and rare on most bikes actually, is it's got a standard centre stand, which means you can lift the bike up onto a centre stand in order to do adjust the chain maintenance, taking the wheels off, tyres and so on. So great stuff. I will switch it off now and I'll start again in a short while. Now, bear in mind, when I was in Australia, I bought a Suzuki DR 650. That's what the bike I ended up with in Australia. And I figured that it wasn't very bike, single cylinder, that one was carburetted air cooled. This is obviously body fuel injection and water. But I had settled on the Suzuki DR 650 as my forever adventure touring bike, because I liked that. Now, that only had the same sort of power, in fact less power, like 36, 37, 38 horsepower against the 40 horsepower of this. And then I came back and obviously I bought a bike that was available and I could afford and everything, which is the Triumph Tiger 800, which I really like. Then I started to think about bigger, better bikes like the Tenor A700. And I kind of forgot that really what I wanted was a simple, lightweight, go anywhere bike. And as I've said before, I ignored this one because, unlike the DR650, I thought this was just going to be underpowered, but it isn't. So I'm back to this sort of bike, and I like the way it looks. I now like the way it rides. Not in any way underpowered for what I need. I rode here on my Triumph 800, and of course on the motorway it's great because no problem overtaking at any motorway speed. Loads of power, but as I say, this will do now. We will be testing motorway-like speeds. But this is where I want to be, these sort of roads. This is my enjoyment. I don't enjoy being on motorways. They're necessarily evil sometimes. The mirrors are not super. And I think I'll probably be slapping some double take mirrors on this. It's more in fitting with the type of bike anyway. They're okay, the mirrors. But they're not great. They're steady, they're not vibrating. Just that I can't see enough behind me, particularly the left one. The right one is kind of Okay. Which is arguably the most important. Yeah, this is chuntering around here and forth, no problem at all. I'll give you a break. Oh, wait till there's a bit of a straight. So I'm not steering whilst pressing the remote control. Right, we're approaching the A5 now. In a quarter of a mile. This, every time I mention the A5, my family say, the Pavlov response from my family is, oh, that's an accent black spot, which it is. And crossing here is a little bit testing. Drop the clutch a bit quickly there. But I just said you have arrived. I thought, what's it mean? And I realised now I put a circuit in, which included places that were on the main roads that I was travelling. I only put 2 stops in, and it's telling me that I've arrived at the first stop. Now I think we're going to be going through Betws-y-Coed, one of my favourite places in Wales. That's great. Now for people who've seen videos about this bike, something odd, it's to do with, I think, the frame rate of your video camera, your action camera, which you can change, but I haven't. I think it's just on 60 frames, I think. It's whatever the default is, it's on. And so we're probably going to see like a strobing of the dashboard, the clock. I assure you that is not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is as steady as a rock, beautiful, clear dash. I mean, it really is gorgeous. I mean, it's the fact that it's round. I liked the, as I say, the Tenere one, and the others that are rectangular. You know, they really looked modern. This round one is just beautiful. Now, you can do other things with it, which is really quite smart. I can connect via an app, the Royal Enfield app. I can connect, they've got a special arrangement where you can connect to Google Maps, and the top half of the screen can be used to show, well, a little more than the top half, you know, more than across the diameter. I think it's a little bit more. You can actually display your map, you know, and follow it, so you can have the sat map. The downside that people talk about is that you have to have the app running to do that. Now, which means, to me, that's not a great deal of problem, because I have the map running anyway. I have my phone running anyway, but this sat map is on it. So, but the problem, I think the problem is that if you've got your phone running, you might as well have the sat nav on your phone, because I would intend to put a sat nav mount here if I were to buy this bike. So if the phone has got to be running it, you can't just chuck it in your tank bag, then it's just a bit odd. It's neater to have it on the bike's dash. You know, it's superb. But on the other hand, I do like to have a sat-nav bar, sat-nav higher, so it's more in my eye line of sight. So I'd probably do that anyway. But anyway, it is a good feature, and I'm not going to test it now because, frankly, I don't know how to. And this is about the riding experience, not fiddling around with the electronics. I'm not going to fiddle around with the modes. It's in normal mode, which means, which I think is called, it's not sport, performance. So they've got performance and eco or economy mode. And within each of those, you've got ABS on, ABS off. Now, you cannot switch the ABS fully off. You can only switch the rear ABS off. And that is good for off-road because you've still got ABS on the front. And apparently, if you switch to that mode, it knows that you're going to go off-road. So it has a modulated ABS that's modulated for gravel tracks and so on. So, but you could still, it's no ABS on the back, so you can give it some back pedal, back brake lever, in order to bring yourself to a stop, and to slide the back a bit. Whereas, if you have ABS on both wheels on gravel, it thinks that you're skidding, so it applies the ABS and you just keep on skidding, so because it's not braking for you. So that's bad news. So I like the fact it's got ABS. My Tiger 800 doesn't have ABS, and I think ABS is an essential safety feature. What it doesn't have is, right, we're going into Betsacoid now. What it doesn't have, now I think it's going to be guiding me through Betsacoid. But what I'll do is I've got the bike longer than I thought I was going to have it for. So I'll do the trip through Betsacoid. Right, it's telling me to go right there, which is fine, but what I'm going to do is do the little, it'll correct itself. I'm going to pull in and get, no, I'll do that on the way out, so I'll go and get some eggs. What he said was, just so long as you go back with a half a tank of petrol, but I can't be bothered, I'll just fill it. Because I can't check it now. Because I'd have to unlatch all the baggage. mean, because I'm not getting off. I'd love to have a drink. Oh, I'll see if I can go here. That's it, next to the toilet. Very nice. Right, I've just been talking to this chap who parked up next to me, and this is his bike. Isn't that beautiful? We had a good old chat. I didn't have the camera rolling, but obviously, but with that fairing on it, what a gorgeous looking bike. Well, as I said to him at the end, I said if I won the lottery, I'd have a stable full of bikes, and there'd certainly be one something like that in it. But as I haven't won the lottery, it's one bike. And I think it might have to be a Himalayan 450, because it's very nice indeed. Let's go through this part again. Oh, and it feels really good when you're standing on the pegs. This is Bike Central. I mean, in some cases, Trike Central. What a beautiful day. It's actually quite warm. Yeah, I've got my mesh jacket on, so when I'm moving, it's fantastic. Let's get on our merry way. No, I just don't think I can beat this.
No.
Oh, I've got to go for petrol, haven't I? Well, could that wait? No, I'll go now, because then I don't want to be fretting. That's good to see. That's my car. Not mine, actually, but, you know, it's towing a big caravan. Not that I'm in the market for a caravan, but it's good to see that it can tow one. Now that we've got a petrol station here, it makes sense to... Oh, no, it doesn't. It's bloody... No, I'll give you... Oh, next petrol station that I see... Stop that. Right. Yeah, this is right, heading... I can never remember, but this is the main Glan Conwy road up to Conwy. So I'm pretty certain there's going to be a... Pretty certain there's going to be a petrol station. Yeah, definitely need a better windscreen. It's beautiful. It's a lovely bike. And as people have said on YouTube, it's so smooth, which, considering it's a single-cylinder engine, which are normally known as thumpers. My DR650 was known as a thumper, and it was, you know, you could feel the sort of the vibration. This, you wouldn't think this, you'd swear this was a parallel twin. Yeah, so that was chaotic, that petrol station. I'm sure I'll get a better one. And also, I'll give you just a bit of buy a drink on Thursday. And yeah, the mirrors are not great. It's funny, that's exactly what I said when I sat on the NEC Motorcycle Live Motor Show. So the mirrors were not fantastic. You know, I was being a bit unfair. They are adequate. You know, it's not something you'd have to buy as a petrol station. Listen to. Now, see the indicator thing. That's one of the criticisms. That the indicator isn't a light. I think that just people have rigged up a set of repeaters which are lights, which seem to be available on the market. I don't know how you connect them, just so you get a better. I wonder what it looks like with the black background. It must be even more difficult to see then. I just think you can't have everything, can you? It isn't good though, is it? They are a bit light. You know, a bit dark. The opposite of light. Okay, I'll just switch off and send in. Right, just got petrol filled up instead because I couldn't be bothered. Right, we're heading back now. No more stops. Trouble is, this sat nav is telling me I've got 80 minutes till the next stop, but there is only one more stop. But it's not telling me the final destination. I'll have to get to the next stop and then it's 10:38. This is Roost. Nice bridge. Which how old it is. It's quite old. It is, I think, it is the vehicle bridge as well. But you have to. It's only narrow enough for one vehicle, so it's traffic light controlled. The Eagles have a hotel host. The one thing, I think somebody else criticised this, and that is that the seat seems to push you forward. Now I had a bike, I think it was my BMW R1200 GS that did this as well. And the solution was that it's got two positions, a high and a low position. And what my solution was with the BMW was to put the front of the seat at the high position and the back of the seat at the low position. It all seemed to work because it tilted the seat a bit. Did check. I checked that the microphone was connected. So I think it's okay. Well, I didn't unconnect anything at the petrol stop, but I did take the helmet into the shop, which has got the microphone on it. So we'll see. I mean, I've got to say, with the Insta360 gear, I've never really had too much of a problem with connectivity. Every other camera I have had terrible connectivity problems. There's going to be an overtaking opportunity. These guys look like Sunday drivers. I mean, it feels, if my memory serves me, more peppy than my DR650. Let's give this a go. Wow, no problem. Right now, here's the test. This is the A55, which is the North Wales Expressway. So, 70 miles an hour. Good test. See what the vibrations like. And I can feel a little bit of vibration coming from the last now. But nothing there. Yeah, so if I could fit the Viridian cruise control without voiding the warranty, I pretty would. I think cruise control for a travel bike is becoming essential, I think. Of course, it would be nice if you got integrated. A lot of very expensive bikes have got integrated cruise control. In fact,
got to say, some of the Chinese bikes have got it, and they're not expensive. This is a place I wouldn't mind living. You can't really see it from here. It looks, because this dual carriageway, probably thinking, why on earth? Why on earth? No. Sorry, sound like a madman. I'm being Siri'd again. No, the Colwyn Bay to the left is very nice. You know, proper seaside, big long promenade type arrangements. And the town is nice. And you may be able to see there's a huge wind farm without slick. I'm going to have to come off. It's getting me. I need to press the next stop. It's not actually giving me directions now. Oh, damn it. Anyway, I'll stop recording that and find somewhere to come off.
So we're now approaching St Asaph. We're not going to go into St Asaph, I don't think. St Asaph is quite nice. I think we're going to be at this roundabout with we go left at the roundabout to go into St Asaph. Oh, that's odd. Oh, we'll do as I'm told. It should be taking me the quickest route, so I will not take a chance given that I'm running late. Now I know St Asaph Asaph has had bad flooding, and as you can see, we're kind of on a floodplain here. I don't know which part of it gets flooded, but it would be a bit risky buying a house here, except if I was to have gone left there into the town centre is quite high, so I can't imagine that would be flooded.
Well, 8 minutes to the destination, so I hate being late, but I don't like people fretting that I've run off, but they can't run off their bike. They've got my bike and the keys. And I'm only going to be just late. So you never know. They might have sold me a bike. Ooh. That was a bit of an error. I was in third gear there. Maybe missed that one as well. Yeah, that was a very tight bend that I wasn't expecting, and I was in third gear. I was in third gear, but it kind of, it did do it. I'll leave the camera running now. Realise it's a 40 mile an hour, so should be repeaters on the repeater signs. Doesn't seem right. Seems like national speed limits. This feels like it could be a 40. But there should be 40 circular 40 zones turn left. Ah yes, I think this is the road I turned out of earlier, yes. Yeah, nearly there now. Almost. It's 2:20, 2:33. This strange car ahead. I know it's a 20-mile limit. Unusual braking.
Switching off.